What's up, everybody? Welcome back, Dirty Gasser. Today I'm going to be installing my ditch lights and my ditch light mounting brackets onto my 2016 Silverado. Before we get started, I had to get my Dutch Bros. I needed a coffee, a little pick-me-up. Other than that, we're gonna go ahead and get started on this. I'll show you guys what we're doing. Let's pop this hood open real fast. Grab my coffee. Cheers. Alright, so here are my pod lights, 3 inches. His DRL light right there. My brackets, wiring, coffee, all this plus more coffee. Alright, so the brackets are going to be mounted here and here. We're going to go ahead and reutilize these same 2 bolts. Basically, I think I'm just going to do 1 bolt at a time. I'm not sure if this hood is going to slide if I undo both of them, and I don't want to find out. So I'm going to undo this top one, put the bracket on, get the bolt back in there so it at least keeps it in place. Then I'll follow the same with the next one, and then follow up with the same on the driver's side. So as far as the wiring goes, we're going to be wiring it up to the battery for now. I'm going to get a the switch panel to put it inside, get it installed, so I can get the rest of my lights up on it, and any future lights that I want to go ahead and put in here. All right, so for this project, what you're going to need, at least on my vehicle, is a 13 millimeter. This will undo the bolts on the hood hinge. Thankfully, this comes with an Allen wrench. I don't know why I said thankfully. I have like a million of them, but it comes with one in case you don't. And that's just to adjust the brackets on the pod lights right here. So that way you can move this bracket, forward, backward. So you can position it where you want. Obviously, probably the best positioning would be at night in order to get an accurate display of where the lighting is at. Also, the bolts right here, these bolts that come with it, at least the ones that come with my pod lights, are also 13 millimeter, so I'm only going to need 13 millimeter wrench, period, ratchet, wrench, whatever you want to call it. So let's get started. I have the first bracket on. So it has these grooves right here where the washers can sit into place. I just kind of wanted to make sure it was backed all the way up on it right here. Make sure there was no gaps on there. One thing I didn't know, I kind of anticipated it, is when I undid the bolts, the hood slid back on this bracket right here, on the hood hinge itself, and caught it right before it started to cut into this little rubber bezel area. So just kind of be careful about that. I got it on though. I think I'm gonna put the fog light on the other one to kind of make it a little easier, maybe to tighten it. I might have enough room to get the bolt on there though, but I think I'm gonna put this fog light on here first for the other side. Maybe it'll be a little bit easier to mount up. The pod lights themselves, I don't really want to scratch my paint any more than I've already scratched it in its lifetime. All right, got my 13-inch ratchet wrench, my pod light, 13mm bolt and nut with a locking washer, and let's go ahead and get it up on there. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get this mounted on here right now. All right, I know this video is a little crooked. I obviously don't own any of that fancy gear, so my windshield is my phone mount. You're welcome. All right, let's go ahead and get this bad boy in here. Let's just say it would have been easier to mount this with the bracket off. Could already tell that now. So, next one will be different. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. It's just a matter of getting it to stay in place. All right, so for now, that'll do. Just get this out of the way. Let's take a little sneak peek, see what we have. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Yeah, that looks really good. Oh, I'm excited. All right, let's get on the other one. All right, we're gonna go ahead and install this light onto this bracket before I put it on the truck. I just feel like it might be a little bit easier, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that real quick. It's kind of a pain in the butt to put it on here with this bolt. It wasn't too bad, but I feel like this will make it just a little bit easier. Alright, so get that bad boy on there. Hand tightened as best as possible to minimize the rolling around. And there we go, yay. All right, let's get this bad boy on. All right, it does look pretty good. I do like it. All right, let's go ahead and use our new foam mount, which will be this fuse. All right, set this right here for a moment. Take a gander. If it doesn't fall, I feel like it might sit there. Let's do this again. So I'm just loosening it. I found out that you don't have to take it all the way off. You can just loosen it up a little bit and then get it on there. Yeah, it should be enough gap. We have one little baby Titan. Alright, got it in. You just see they're kind of a pain in the butt, but not too much of a hassle. Pretty sure I'm shaving my paint off the hinge. Definitely don't want my hood flying off. Alright, there's that. Now we can check to see what they both look like. So let's close this down for a moment and take a look. Oh, yeah. They look good. I like them. You can see there's still gap, so you don't have to worry about it hitting your hood or anything. So, looks good on there though. I don't know, what do you guys think? Alright, I'm gonna run these cords now in through here, and let's get these things wired up. Just a short coffee break. That's all we need. All right, let's get back into it. All right, now we're gonna run this wiring with my harness, relay, my rocker switch, connectors that go on each pod, water seal proofing, and all this jumbo mumbo wire. Cool thing, I don't know if I mentioned it before, but cool thing about these brackets is they actually have, let's see if I can get an angle of them. This that little slit you see right there, that little hole right there, it's perfect for these zip ties, specifically made for these zip ties to go into that hole. This way you don't have it all wrapped around the bracket. It'll go into there, keep this wire nice and neat. Still trying to figure out where I'm going to dump that wire at, because I kind of don't like the placement of it, and I don't have the hood closed all the way, so I'm kind of afraid it's going to pinch that wire. I don't know if you can really see it that well. It's focusing up everywhere else where it needs to, so you kind of see that wire right there. Yeah, I'm about to figure that out right now. You see, this side isn't so bad because it actually goes through the little wiper slot, so I don't have that same issue on this side. So I can just wire it up and it'll fall down into that loop, which I'll show you real fast. Right in there, the wire will drop down and then it'll come into the cab, or into the engine bay, not the cab, sorry. So I just need to get the rest of this wire and lay it all out. All right, so while laying this wire out, so man, why couldn't this wire be so much longer than what it is? Like, this is it. This is all I get. My battery's over here. This is what I get for the power wire with this mini length. By the time I get that to my battery, this right here is only gonna reach to like right there. So I have to go under my hood every time I want to pop it open? I don't think so. I'm gonna have to get some more wire and extend this positive and negative so I can run into the battery from this end over there. This way I have a lot more wire this to run into the cab. Otherwise it's not gonna work in my favor. So here we go. All right, I found this wire out of my mini pile of wires that I have laying around. I'm gonna go ahead and use this for positive and then a negative. I know it's not black, blah blah blah. Well, guess what? Nobody else is working on my truck but me, so I will know that this extended ground wire will be my negative. Okay, don't worry, I got it. I got this. All right, let's go. Let's get this going. All right, here we are. My new positive, my new negative. Extension wires for my positive and negative on the lights. And again, I know one's not black. Remember, we're doing this on a budget because I am not rich. So if I find some extra wires and I don't have to go spend 20 bucks on a spool of wire roll, you better believe I'm gonna do it. All right, so let's get these connected to this and then we'll get it wired up and then we'll situate the rest of it. Let's go. I don't know about you guys, but when I connect my wiring, I like to fan them out and then slide them into each other. Kind of like that. You kind of get the idea. Splice them into each other. Let me see if I can show you. Kind of like that. And then repeat the process with the next one. All right, so there we have it. Got my extended power and negative wire beautifully buttoned up with my electrical tape. Yes, electrical tape, because like I said, we're on a budget and I can't afford it. Anyways, good to go. And just for those of you who will probably try to say something anyways, I made it black. There, black and red. I don't want to hear nothing. All right, now let's just get these things wired up into here. Simple plug and play. Clicked, good to go. Let's go ahead and do it on this same side over here. Clicked in, it's good to go. The reason why the wiring is all loose is because I want to make sure everything's functioning properly. So yes, I'm about to drag more wires back over this direction. Just lost my switch. But let's get this wired in here at least. And then we'll test it. All right, to loosen up these bolts right here on the top. It's a 10 millimeter. I'm just gonna loosen it up. All right, guys, change of plans. No longer going to here. Now coming to here where I originally wired up my amp for inside my truck. Felt like that's more supportive, a little more safer. And this bolt was becoming a pain in my rear end. So I'm just gonna go ahead and bolt the power wire up to right here. Hopefully this negative isn't gonna be as much of a hassle as this positive, but we'll see. All right, now I have that power wire in there. Just tightening it down. Good to go. All right, power supply in. Wow, probably should have looked at it a little bit better. Just realized now I have to run this wire just a little bit differently. All right, we'll be back. All right, everyone, so battery post nut, still the same hassle as I'm doing this one. So I just went ahead and cut a little slit into the connector piece so it can slide behind here. I don't know if you can really see that or not. But basically just slide. As soon as I can get it to slide. Not the electric slide. I just had it a second ago before I grab this camera. Alright, so basically go back in there and then I will fasten it to this battery terminal. And then I'll fix everything else. Alright, now that we have everything tightened up, I went ahead and moved this wire on the other side of this because this support right here, it was just bugging me that the wire was wrapped around it when the wires have to go that way. Underneath, through that way. Zip tied up there, kind of like you see my power wire from my amp, zip tied across the top. We're gonna run these wires the same way, but first let's give it a little test. All right, since they are currently hot wired to my battery to this rocker switch, so hot lights, pretty bright for the daytime, and then a DRL running light. I love that light. I honestly bought it just for that stupid light right there. This light right here I'm gonna run, not right now, because I don't really have time, but I am gonna run this DRL light to the DRLs in my headlights. And yes, I do know how to do it, and I'll give you guys a quick tutorial on that when I go to run them to these headlights to this specific DRL on my Silverado. So if you have the same truck or anything and you have any questions or anything, please feel free to comment and I will definitely get back to you and try and walk you through it. It's very simple. You don't have to remove anything to get to it like I watch a lot of people do. You don't have to remove the grill, you don't have to remove the top shrouder, fan shrouder. All you got to do is get into this backside and then I can walk you through the rest from there. It's very simple. It is simple, I just don't have the time to do it. Simple but time consuming a little bit. But yeah, all right, well, there's that. So let's go ahead and finish up this wiring a little bit, make it look pretty. All right, I just wanted to show you guys again this zip tie area right here. Like you see, oops, of course I dropped it. Let's give you an idea. So you'll put the zip tie through there. And you'll connect it around. I can get my freaking finger in there. There you go. Well, I had it, I just didn't want to zip it yet, I guess. My mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yeah. It's usually not this difficult. I guess it doesn't help watching the camera to do it. All right, there we go. All right, so that's in. So it'll be that one. Obviously, I'll fasten it down, and there's a second one in there. You can barely see it. Right there, that little notch. That's where I'm gonna run in the second zip tie for that other wire. And it'll just drop down through here. All right. All right, so while I was testing the light on the driver's side, because I hadn't done it yet, I don't know if you guys can see it, but there are already water spots in my lights. What the hell? Why? I mean, I get it's an Amazon buy. You get what you pay for. Just remember that, quality over quantity. These things only cost me 50 bucks. They'll do for now. Just not really pleased about that. I'll be messaging them, don't worry. All right, I have to show you this because I just kind of figured this out. It's a nice little trick for this little top piece that goes on top of your battery. Because you know this support bar is always in the way. Literally just learned this right now. You take it, slide it under, put it in, and tilt it back. Literally that easy. I've struggled with this, I don't know how many times, and who knows how many different projects, but that's literally it. I'm amazed. All right, back to it. All right, so I know the wiring is a little ugly right now, but just to give you a quick idea. Obviously I ran out of zip ties or I just can't find the ones that I actually own. Probably bought like 6 sets of 100, whatever. Anyway, so the power wire I ran down into that boot right there. I don't know if you can see it, goes into the firewall, and then it'll come out on this side over here. Let's see, this panel right here at the very top of this, I won't be able to show you because I won't be able to see it. I don't know if you can see it right there is the boot where the wire comes out of. And I just have it sitting right here for right now, because I don't want to drill a hole into my dash or anywhere on here. I'm getting a switch panel, like an 8-switch panel or whatever. I'm gonna get one of those and put it in here. But for now, I definitely don't want to just drill a hole right here on the top, just to put that button there. So I just kind of have it tucked right here where my tilt steering wheel is. But I mean, that would be a good ideal spot for anybody else if that's where you want it. If I wasn't hooking up more lighting, I would definitely utilize that spot. However, I'm not, so I won't. But anyways, let's give this a whirl and check it out and see how this looks. Let's grab everything off of here. I have to go to the store, get zip ties so I can properly secure this the way I want to. It's not the greatest, but we're doing it on a budget, so it is what it is. Let's see. Okay, it's just a zip tie making some squeaky noises, and that's what it looks like. All right, those lights. It's just with the actual lights on. I think it looks really good though. I don't know, what are your guys' opinions? Anything I could have done different? I know they're not aligned or anything right now, but that's basically what it looks like going down into the backside on one. Let's look at the other one. There's that. And then this one drops down into the wiper, which I like better. Yes, I know I have to clip these, so thank you for those who do want to point that out. All right, everybody, that's a wrap. Got my pod lights in. They're looking good. Somewhere that way, and then another one right there. Anyways, got any questions, comments, feel free to leave a message. Hopefully I covered everything. If there's anything I left out, please let me know. If you want a tutorial on wiring it to the DRL lights right here, let me know. I do know how to do it. I can show you how. Just leave a comment. All right, that's it, guys. That's a wrap. Like, follow, subscribe if you like what I'm doing. If you want to see more, keeps me motivated, just let me know. Thank you, guys. You have a good one. I'll see you later.